What's up, everybody? Brett here with Good Talk Gaming. Gonna be jumping into Slay the Spire. It's a single-player card game, which I used to play quite a bit. Haven't given it much love in a while, but the developers do update it pretty constantly. There are 3 characters available now, but since I haven't played in a while, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the Ironclad, which is kind of the easier character to start with. It's tankier, heals at the end of combat. I'm gonna go a little bit slow for those of you who haven't seen this game before, but try not to drag things out too much. Let's see, max HP, obtain a curse, random rare relic. I don't like this. His starting relic is really strong. But curses are usually pretty easy to get rid of. Let's take a chance. We got old coin, 300 gold. That's pretty huge. That'll help pay for the removal of the curse. So let's go ahead and get in and look at the map. We want to take elite fights whenever we can. So it's good to kind of go up the map, count them out. 1, 2. 1, 2. So basically we can only fight 2 elites whichever way we go, so it's just a matter of what else do we want to see. And I'm kind of liking this path. There are a lot of question marks, shops. Yeah, so let's go this way. Let's take a look at that curse. I didn't see what it was. Pain. Ooh, that's pretty strong. Yeah, we gotta get rid of that as soon as possible. Let's actually strike, defend. Yeah, we definitely want to get rid of that curse. I don't know if that's a new curse since I've started playing, but I don't think I've seen that one before. Let's see if defend actually blocks it. It does not. Okay. So, a little bit of a misplay just to check how that card works. We could have taken 1 less damage there. Block 2. Not really necessary to hit that shield, but it does go away at the end of turn. It doesn't stack. It's going to be a very painful first fight, but we have a lot of question marks after this. Maybe an opportunity to get rid of that curse or heal up. We made our opponent vulnerable. You saw he took 9 damage there instead of 6. Clashes can be good if you get them early. I think this is a new card. It actually kind of synergizes with the curse, and there are cards that have strong effects that cause you to lose life. I'm actually going to grab Clash, just because it's a card that I know is solid. You can usually maneuver your way into having your hand more gold. Yellow, I'm going to do it. Get greedy. Definitely want to hit this shop and remove the curse. And we can get rid of that guy, block some of this damage. And we did heal up 6 at the end of that combat, so it's basically just negating the curse damage we're taking. But it's going to make these fights take a little longer. Okay, it's kind of unfortunate. We can slime, get rid of the slime, defend, bash, clash. So I think that's what we're going to do. Or rather, strike, clash. So 1 more hit, it goes down. Pretty stoked about having this much gold. It opens up a lot of possibilities at the shop. If we see a really good relic, Shrug It Off is great. Iron Wave is kind of a very mediocre card, but there are some turns where it really comes in handy to do that little bit of damage and gain that little bit of block. Let's see. I'm actually going to grab Iron Wave. Shrug It Off I think is a better card. But where we're at now, I like having the versatility. So let's get rid of Pain. And we really want to get rid of that other curse too. That's a pretty bad one. Let's grab War Paint. Basically 2 free upgrades. This is pretty good. It also counters the curse we currently have. So I'm going to grab that. I like Carnage, but you'll read its tooltips as ethereal. So you have to use it the turn you draw it, or else it can disappear, which kind of can sometimes put you in a weird spot. I'm gonna grab it, especially with the other card we just picked up that'll give us strength. Anytime you apply strength, you increase your damage, your physical damage dealt. So that's a little bit of synergy. And it's just a card that's never bad. So let's grab that, and I'm actually going to get Letter Opener for those turns where we play really defensively. We want to go defend, 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 and still deal 5 damage to all enemies, which is very important. Sometimes that 5 damage to all enemies will take out lots of little guys with low HP. So, not bad. Got rid of the worst curse. Picked up a good card. So here we go. This is a perfect turn to deal some heavy damage. We want to use ethereal cards if we have the option to do so. That way they don't disappear. Uses Ritual. So he'll gain strength next turn. In here, actually, we can... It's not really necessary. If there were multiple enemies, we could defend, 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 and use Letter Opener to do 5 damage, but because it's just 1, we'll end up actually missing out on damage. So, let's just play that. We do get a stack of Weakened, which is not fun. So let's play our defend. Now we can use Clash. And we've almost got it. Take 1 damage, no big deal. Drop the Carnage. Pommel Strike is a card I like a lot. I would like to get a Shrug It Off at some point, but we did get 2 upgraded defends, which is pretty equivalent in the block department, and this also draws us a card. So let's stay a little bit more on the aggressive side. We'll definitely be looking to pick up some Shrug It Offs if we get a chance. Let's take the elite fight. We don't quite need to heal. 3 enemies means Letter Opener is pretty sweet. Let's go ahead, spot weakness, gain 3 strength. It's the rest of the fight. You'll notice our strike now does 9 damage, Clash now does 17. Let's block. And we can't play Clash because of this curse. It's another really good reason why we need to get rid of that ASAP. Now these guys take turns. The 2 guys on the edge will do the same thing at the same time. The guy in the middle will do the opposite. So it's generally good to focus down one of these 2 first, just because of the speed of the rotation. It really depends on how fast you're able to get them down. They also have artifact here which negates a debuff. So if I tried to use Bash to apply vulnerable, it wouldn't work. But they only have one charge. Let's see. Iron Wave. This is not one of our upgraded blocks. Iron Wave, Defend, Strike. Try to conserve our life total. That might have been a good turn to actually use the Speed Potion. The 5 Dexterity goes towards block bonuses, so we might not have taken that 8 damage, but there might be a turn after this one where that's a pretty good call as well. Yeah, the extra Street Thanks put that over the 21 damage we needed, so solid. I'm actually going to defend here. Take just a little bit less damage. These guys can be tough early on. And I don't really remember the last time they actually killed me. Let's defend, defend, defend. 5 damage to all, and then Clash becomes active. And we're going to hit the guy in the middle because there's a good chance we can take him next turn while he's doing damage and the other guy's adding these days to our deck, to our discard pile. And at a certain point you start seeing a lot of these. So there we go, got him. That extra strength from that card we picked up on sale is coming in handy. Over the course of a long elite fight, that 3 strength translates into a lot of damage. So this is actually kind of good. We're going to get rid of all these dazed. Take a few damage. Pop them with Carnage, pop them with Strike. We got it. So the end of elite fights, and the reason why you take them is because you get relics. So that would have been nice to have before we picked up those curses. But what can you do? It's a power. We don't have that many cards that get exhausted. We don't really have that synergy yet. And until then, they don't really do anything. So I'm actually going to grab Flex. More strength. It's a free card, and when it's upgraded, it can translate to a lot of damage on a single turn. These are great with Letter Opener, but we don't have 3 defend, 3 skill type cards. So let's see if we can't get rid of this guy. Knock out that 9 damage right off the bat. And I'm trying to remember which ones do the most damage, and I think it's these guys here. But I can block and negate all of their damage, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think he's going to try and hit me for a big attack soon. Oh, never mind, he's the shield gremlin. Okay, I thought he was one that does like a strong laser attack, but now I'm not so sure. I don't think that's him. Let's flex. Get our we want to defend. That way we can use Clash. If we Clash, just get rid of him. Use Carnage, almost get him down. Yeah, and that strength is temporary. The strength from Flex, it doesn't last the whole match. Use our weakest attack on him. And let's prevent some of that damage. Could have pummeled first to see what we draw, but I don't think it would have changed our play there. Without the other guy gone, he was the one that was debuffing us and making us weak. So without him here, it's not a big deal. So we can block, bash, flash, and that's good enough. I like Heavy Blade. I think we have an okay start to a strength synergy Ironclad run. Ate too much scrap for his own good. From the center of the creature you see glints of strange light, perhaps something magical. So let's take a chance. And we got it on the first shot. Awesome. And this is a new one for me. Wow, that's strong. I have not seen that before, and we got it on the first chance. Normally, you have to keep giving it health for a slightly higher percentage increased chance to get that. But that's really strong. Once again, another ability also that hits all enemies. If you like to spread out damage, if you have a build that's really good at doing that. I think we go this way. Magic flower. Okay, we don't have any healing yet, but we could certainly get some. Now, do we go to a campfire and upgrade a card? Or rest to try and get some of our HP back? Or do we risk this? And I think I'm going to risk this. If it's combat, that's fine. We'll pick up another card. He's going to do 12 damage. Let's block. And we're going to lose our Carnage. But he's only one guy. I don't think we need it to beat him. I like not taking damage on that turn. Let's Pommel Strike, see what we draw. Iron Wave, defend. So we don't take any damage again, and we did decent damage to him. And that's why I kind of like Iron Wave. Like I said, the versatility. Flex. We don't get to play Clash, unfortunately, because of this curse. But we did get a permanent 3 strength, which will probably help us dunk him on the next turn. That's it. And if we had used Heavy Strike, it would have gotten triple strength. It would have been very strong. And also having a steroid potion in our back pocket for that strength gain on the turns when we draw our Heavy Strike is very good. So here's the lose HP synergy card I was talking about. It's a power, so it stays on the board every turn this happens. And if we had taken that 4-cost card that deals damage, it gets cheaper every time you lose HP. This would have been really solid with that. I'm actually going to take Clothesline, making like a boss type character weak. Can really soften the blow on those turns when they kind of alpha strike you. And we do not have a lot of gold, unfortunately. I would love to get Anchor. This is pretty sweet. This is a new one for me. This is also pretty sweet. Really strong block synergy. If I could have gotten those. I don't have enough to remove a card. I should have thought about that. Oh, if I remember right, it's a static 100. And I'm at 96. That's rough. I kind of want to grab this in Flame. Or even Armaments. Armaments is a great card. Because you're usually upgrading an attack card, and so it's getting you 5 block plus the attack difference of upgrading a card, and then that card stays upgraded, so every time you use it, it's like it's still getting you value. Another lose HP synergy card. Also kind of want this Bandage up. It's a one-time use, it exhausts after you use it. Yeah, I'm going to grab Inflame. And try and lean into that synergy I mentioned with the strength cards. Okay. Can almost one-shot him. Okay. I'm gonna take 11 here, which sucks, but we should be in a position to not take too much damage from him. Apply some vulnerable. That'll be good for one more turn. And we did increase our strength to 5, so we hit pretty hard. Let's do this. We're going to weaken him. gain some block of our own. We did a ton of damage with that strength. Weakness plus strength is a really good combo. I'm going to grab Iron Wave again, just because we're not able to grab those kind of functional defensive cards. At the very least, we can grab... this could be bad. Let's try it. We're actually going to lose 6 max HP here. I don't want to take... Actually, injury is not that bad as far as the curses go. Don't want to take 20 damage. We're about to fight an elite. 6 HP doesn't matter because we're kind of low on HP. The golden idol gives us more gold. It's kind of good to get this as early as possible in a run to maximize the amount of gold you get. But this is pretty early. This is 4-1 of 3. Let's take that and try not to die to this guy. Let's pommel strike. I do not think this is our strength. This is not our strength turn, I don't believe. But we definitely want to hit him as hard as we can. If we get Heavy Blade, I think we're going to pop the steroid potion. And this is where having offensive cards that do defensive things really comes into play. Because his ability is, if we play a skill like a block, he actually hits for more. So weakening him like this makes him do less damage, so it's kind of defensive in that way. Also Iron Wave, same thing. So we actually brought down the damage a lot, but we didn't play a single, quote-unquote defensive skill. So we're going to play Inflame. We're going to pop Steroid Potion. We're going to smack him hard. We should be able to kill him next turn. Only taking 10 damage is not terrible. And yeah, let's just finish him off. Another new relic for me. Another very strong relic. They added a lot of really good relics and a poison potion, which I like. This is good to get very early, and you can go to a lot of camps and upgrade it. And by the end of a run, you can have something that does, in the 30s. I'm actually going to grab a Perfected Strike. It's good with strengths, because just by the nature of it being an attack. And it's also good because we haven't gotten rid of our strikes in our deck yet. We haven't been thinning our deck. And I think we're going to rest here. Heal up. And let's go to the boss. Floor 1. This guy's usually not too hard. He alternates between being in a shell that has like thorns damage, if you're familiar with that, and being in this mode where he attacks. I'm actually going to poison him right from the start. Would have been nice to get some of our strength synergy powers going. Getting an Inflame early. This is not great. This is a really bad turn to draw all this kind of nonsense. But we're going to try and weaken him. And Pummel Strike does the most damage. See, that's another instance where doing Pummel Strike first is usually correct. Could have got a little bit more damage on him. But the main thing was basically just to get him to go into this form. And you have to do about 30 damage, I believe is what it was, to get him to go into this defensive form. Meanwhile, he'll be taking the poison damage. But now he has Sharp Hide, so hitting him does damage us. But that's a great turn to use our strength to block his attacks, and just to we could hit him and take 1 damage, but I'm pretty sure that would proc our buffer, and I don't want to lose buffer for like 1 damage, so let's not do that. That would be a pretty bad misplay, because he's going to start hitting us hard. Yeah, let's get that strength. Let's defend. defend again and proc our letter opener. Or we hit him, take 3, gain 5 block. The block becomes irrelevant. No, we blocked the first hit, so our buffer saves us 8. But we do put some more damage on him. It's an extra 5 damage. And then we can do this and then clash. Yes, as long as we also pop that, it uses our letter opener. We clash, we take 3, we block the first hit, and then the buffer catches the second one. I believe is how it's going to work. Yes, so not bad. Usually pays off to kind of take your time, walk through those types of attacks. So this is going to hit him pretty hard. On the other side of that, we could block, 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 not take much damage, but it's a pretty sweet turn. I think if we're going to block, we're going to want to, yeah, I think that's good. We're going to want to not take damage. The damage you take in a boss fight doesn't carry over to the next floor, which is something that's good to note. Let's bash first, pommel for the damage, and that should, there we go. Would have been nice to draw that next turn. And the poison is worn off. We've got him below half HP. We're doing fine. It's actually kind of nice to draw our curses on a low damage turn like this. We're going to take 3, but we're going to weaken him. So it kind of balances out. We'll take 1 damage here. Not bad. And this thing procced, dealing 40 damage. That is a sweet relic. I think it's a little slow for trying to deal with like really weak multiple enemies, but it's still really strong. It's just a free 40 damage on a boss fight, so. Do we hit him? Yeah, we hit him. We're going to recover any HP damage. At this point, I'm not actually worried about dying to him. Let's just get him down as soon as possible. And you do get bonus points at the end of your game if you win by not taking damage from boss enemies. But if you see that that's not something that's feasible, then don't even worry about it. Just focus on surviving. Expected strike, 30 damage. It's pretty hard. And here we get a rare card. Demon form, super good if we can upgrade it. It'll give us, I think it's 3 strength per turn. It's a power, so it happens every turn. You get plus 3 strength. So in a boss fight, if you get this down early, by the end of it, you'll be hitting them for huge damage. And there's also bludgeon, which is really good at one-shotting kind of medium strength enemies. And if you have any kind of, depending on the relic we get after this, which could give us more energy, it could be really good. If you can cast this and something else in a turn, then you're doing good. This is probably good in a block synergy deck. Get really defensive, turtle up, and then just get that energy. I'm actually going to grab Demon Form and hope to upgrade it at some point. You no longer gain gold. I don't quite like that. If I didn't have the golden idol, and I already was on, like, let's say this was the second boss, and I already had a huge like surplus of gold, I would like that extra energy. Can't smith. I like that actually. Can't play more than 6 cards per turn. That might actually not be bad. On the Ironclad, it's not a combo, he's not a combo-based character. The Silent is someone that likes to play like 10 cards sometimes in a turn, depending on what kind of build you're going, but not the Ironclad. I think it's probably pretty rare you play 6 cards in a turn, so I don't really see this as a downside. I'm actually going to grab that. That pink flame one is actually a new relic for me as well. That's what I love about this game and the developers. They are constantly updating. So let's see who our boss is. Okay. Having trouble remembering exactly what this guy does. We'll see when we get to him. Let's see, we gotta counter our elites again. 2 this way. So if we go this way, we can hit 1, 2 again. And just 1 going that way. Okay, like I said, we want elites because we want the relics. So of these 2 ways, which one kind of affords us? This one gives us a shot, kind of early on. And another shot once we get up here. I think I like that. I think I'm going to take this. These are really good enemies for letter opener and for stone calendar if it goes that far. Their flight reduces attack damage dealt. It's really annoying. If you have any kind of thorns effects, it really destroys these guys because they hit you for low damage multiple times, so they'll be taking that damage 5 times if they hit you. Unfortunately, we don't have any thorn synergies at the moment. Let's play our defend, block 5 damage. They're also really strong against our buffer. It's only going to prevent 1 damage if we let them hit us. So let's not let them hit us. And we can heavy blade, clash, and that's enough to knock him down. We could have spread that damage out since we weren't going to take any damage this turn, and that might have been strong to do. But getting 1 guy off the board early is also pretty good. He doesn't have flight anymore, he takes full damage. So at this point I think we just clothesline him, get him going. Use our upgraded strike. And hit this guy. We want to get this guy down because he's already got strength build up. So we're not going to take any damage here. Buffer's going to block that 5. The other guy's powering up. Okay. Let's perfected strike, 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 and that's enough to knock him down. Yeah, in demon form, sometimes if you don't get it early enough, it just kind of sticks in your hand and just keeps cycling through because you're not able to find a home to play it. I think we can afford to boost our strength this turn. Next turn, if we need to play defensive, he won't do that much damage anyway, it's not a big deal. Yeah. I think actually we could have done this first, made him vulnerable, and then pretty much guaranteed that we knock him out of the sky, get stunned. Slight misplay, but it's not going to cost us. Still vulnerable, should be an easy knockout. See what I'm saying about not going over 6? Really late game, it might be a problem. I could see a scenario where this hurts us or bites us in the butt, but not yet. Grab another perfected strike. They do become better in multiples. It's a pretty annoying curse if we get it. Let's risk it. We got the curse. That sucks. But this is a really good relic. Applying vulnerable. So our first turn we can be really explosive. So they already have vulnerable. We're going to get them with 3. And if we play 1 defend, we don't take any damage this turn. So that's nice. The buffer is going to catch that other 5 damage. I keep repeating that because it's good for me to remember, because some of these relics do things I haven't seen before. Okay, so here we could go Heavy Blade, Perfected Strike, or we could Defend, Clash. But okay, we actually don't need to. I didn't see. He's not doing an attack. So let's take advantage of that strength we have this turn and hit him hard. That with the vulnerability is really strong. This guy can get annoying with this hex he does, but it's over. Yeah, applying vulnerable to all enemies at the start of a... Oh, this is good. These are all pre-upgraded. You'll notice they have the green names with the plus signs, so that's great. This is really good with strength synergies, because you're doing multiples of damage, so that strength is applying to each one of these. So this is really good, but I also like this as a really strong defensive card. 5 weak, 5 vulnerable lasts a long time, and in a grindy fight it can really make a difference. So we are going this way. Huh. I've not seen that before. Starting a battle with 1 dexterity is pretty sweet. This would be awesome if we were hurt, but I'm not sure that's good enough just for 7 max HP. I don't like these cards. I think this is a new one. It's pretty sweet. That looks really strong. They cost 0 for the entire combat. They go into your draw pile. Let's take this time to get rid of one of these curses. Let's get rid of Doubt. We don't want to be weak in a strength-based deck. And we can add Oddly Smooth Stone. I like this a lot. That 1 dexterity. Kind of similar to once you start stacking up these passive buffs, just every combat gets accumulatively easier because you're taking less damage and you're able to do better defensive stuff and better offensive stuff. So this is kind of a great first shockwave turn, and in flame turn no one's hitting me. We're playing skills. We didn't quite have enough to get that letter opener proc, which would have been pretty good. But this is ticking. This thing is huge. If you just turtled up behind this against small guys like this, I could see that being a pretty good strategy. Well, let's see, we can take out one of these guys, I think. Come very close. Well, if we can't get him, then let's be a little more defensive. And that's fine. We take no damage, we don't waste our buffer, and he's almost certainly dead next turn. Okay, Clash is free. Let's do that. They already have vulnerable, and this adds up to more damage than this for the same cost. So let's go ahead and hit this guy, hit this guy, hit this guy, and buffer's gonna stop that 6 damage. Very strong. This could come back to bite us in the butt if we end up with even more energy and we find ourselves in a place where we can play a lot of spells. but knowing that ahead of time, we can play around it if there's a better alternative relic down the line. Here we can just hit it. We have a lot of strength built up. Good to get a potion, fly vulnerable, very good against a single target. I like cleave, especially if it's already upgraded. I like spot weakness as well, especially because it's already upgraded. We don't have a lot of AoE attacks, which is something I would like at least one of. I don't think cleave is the best of the AoE attacks that are available in the Ironclad, but it's already upgraded, so it's very tempting. I'm going to grab another spot weakness. In my experience, is a card I don't see quite as often. So hopefully I'm right on that, and that was a slightly rarer card to see. Normally you see a lot of cleaves. Okay, I think this is basically, you can sacrifice a lot of HP, so we can do this over and over again. Get some gold. We're gonna heal. Let's look at the map. We have a campfire right here. We could actually take a ton of damage and then heal up, just to get a lot of gold. But also we have to remember to leave. We have to take a hit too. So, and I think that's enough. That should be enough to get 2 quality relics by the time we get to the next shop. Don't necessarily need a potion. And this is, getting a colorless card can be amazing if you get the right card. But if you don't, you know, you wasted 9 HP. Could have been 90 gold, which is enough to buy a good card that you definitely would want. So let's come here. Fortunately we don't get to Smith, but I mean that was a lot of gold. And if we can survive this fight relatively unscathed, spot weakness, defend, let her open her procs, and pommel strike for some damage. My play was going to be the same there. Once again, I didn't use pommel strike first to draw the card. In a game like, if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, which is a game that I enjoy a lot, you generally want to have that knowledge of what that card might be. Let's see, we're going to spot weakness, because it could change how you play that turn. Clothesline, make him super weak. Clash him, just go ahead and kill him. But in this game we have such limited card draw, such a small hand size, and an actual limit on the amount of cards we can play with Energy and Velvet Choker, that I knew I was going to get that letter opener proc. It was what I wanted, so it wouldn't have changed my play. I can't think of a single card in my deck that would have changed my play there. We can play all 4 of these. We still have our buffer up, so pretty certain we're going to get through this fight without taking any damage, which is great after losing that much HP. I think we got this guy dead. Heavy Blade coming in hard, which is why we're taking all these strength cards. Once again, Sword Boomerang, multiple stacks of damage, but it does hit random enemies. It's kind of make me want to take Shrug It Off. I like having one of those. This doesn't matter which way we go, so let's just... That's really strong. That's what I like to see. Really good against multiple enemies. It can help you snowball. You just keep getting energy, just keep getting kills, just keep drawing cards. Flame. Shockwave. Good. He's weak and vulnerable for the rest of the fight, basically. And we're strong for the rest of the fight. Very solid. And we get a curse out of the way. So that was a very good first turn. But what he does is he confuses us, and it's going to randomize the costs on these cards, sometimes to our benefit, sometimes not. So let's actually Let's shrug it off. This is great. That's a good instance of why you draw first. And we'll just hit him. Hitting him pretty hard with our +2 strength. Awesome. 0 cost. So here we can do something like ensure we take no damage, it's free. Spot weakness. Demon form, probably not necessary. Let's hit with heavy blade and see what we get. Yeah, so we'll just take him out next turn. Pretty much guaranteed. Demon form would have basically just been a wasted play there. Still have buffer. This is a really strong ability. Where did this come from? Fossilized Helix? That's definitely a relic I'm going to be looking out for in the future. This will be good. We can use this if we need to, and then use this to fill all of our potion slots. We don't want to use this right away, because we'll only get one, or well, I guess 2 potions out of it. Grab another Clash. And here we're going to want to take this elite fight. Hope to get a good relic. This is a pretty good elite fight for us, just because they're in multiples and our deck is kind of set up to deal with that. I'm actually going to throw that on him, drink that. Shockwave. This one, 2 strength, 2 energy. And he's going to be vulnerable for basically the rest of the fight, so we have time to hit him. Let's defend. I believe they actually attack in order of who's standing closest to you. It'd be nice if the 9 damage got blocked, then we blocked a 5 or whatever, but I don't think it's going to work out that way. This might be a good turn to use the energy. And it might actually be a great turn to drink this regen. Once again, can't play Clash because of our curses. And whenever we heal more, so that's awesome. First time this comes into effect. But we definitely want to get through this fight taking as little damage as possible. Spot weakness, not bad. I really wish we were drawing more skills so we would be getting more procs from letter opener. But we are going to take this guy down. We're not going to suffer that debuff. We got a first proc from Gremlin Horn. There we go. Letter opener. 10 free damage. Still have regen going for 3 more turns. Let's get another spot weakness. And I think we're just going to 3-strike. Take this guy out. That's fine. Yeah, we might actually walk away from this with max HP. So that gamble with the gold, we probably actually could have got another 90 out of it. But I wanted to be safe because I knew an elite was coming up. But I think we did good. Or well, depending on your grammar preferences. Pin nib, that's great. Every 10th attack deals double damage. So there will definitely be times where we can align this with like a heavy blade and hit them for like 100. So that's definitely something we're going to be looking to do. I would probably take another Clash if this wasn't an upgraded clothesline. So I think it's a little more damage and 1 more weak. Said it's a good defensive, offensive card, and I really value that, so I'm going to take that here. Double your strength. We're probably going to grab this. This is really sweet. I also like fire breathing. And we're going to want to remove something. Let's see, the effects of your increased by 2. We don't have any X spells, unfortunately. I don't really value this very highly. This, yes, this is 5 max HP. I might grab that and just use it. This is strong. We do have vulnerability synergies with Bag of Marbles, and I believe we have Shockwave and another ability. So let's grab Paper Frog. These two aren't necessary. Let's remove a curse. And Writhe is definitely the worst of the two curses that we have. Let's get rid of that. Let's grab... Do we have enough to do everything? Yes. This is also a pretty good card too. And this is a very good card against bosses. They are unfortunately pretty expensive though. And Anger is okay. I'm going to grab Limit Break. And I'm actually going to get us that 5 max HP. And that was a very good shot. All made possible by that big gamble. Okay. Let's go ahead and use this so we don't forget. And if we defend, that means we can clash. And then we'll have enough to do to apply some weak. It would be great to get Demon Form down, but I really want this upgraded. We might be able to do that instead of resting at the boss. Oh, that's right, Demon... Yeah, that was a misplay. Demon Form is actually a power. Had I realized that, I probably would have changed my play to make sure that I got Demon Form down. However, it definitely wasn't bad to not take any damage that turn. We don't have any strength up currently. So I'm going to take this opportunity to Shockwave. Great. Synergizes super well with our new Paper Frog. Let's shrug it off. And yeah, let's just take no damage and get 5 from Letter Opener. We lose Carnage, not a big deal. We're at the point now where we have multiple Perfected Strikes and other really strong attacks. Like this already does more than that, so we're gonna let him hit us for full damage because we're gonna block all of it with our buffer. So no point in defending there. And we're stacking up Pin Nib. Gotta keep an eye on that. This is a good Pummel Strike. These curses are really killing our Clash synergies, which is why I'm kind of glad I didn't take the third one. I don't believe we can kill him. No, not even close. So let's actually defend, and we'll bash. We couldn't do these two at the same time. There's more damage to bash, and it applies more stacks of vulnerability, which is not really necessary. I'll definitely have him dead in 5 turns. Flex is free. Spot weakness. Flame. Strike. Yeah. Really strong. Bottled Lightning. Let's add a card before we do that. Uppercut's really good. This could be good, but once you start getting to the 0 cost cards, you really start cutting it kind of close with the Velvet Choker. If I had a lot of flexes, a lot of rages, I would definitely probably start running into that 6 card limit. Okay. That was probably an okay choice. I actually thought it was one to choose to upgrade, but it's one that adds it to the start of your hand. So it could be a dead card. It actually might have been kind of a bad choice, but if we do get a turn where we get spot weakness, and we do have 2 of them, then a spot weakness plus a limit break, especially the upgraded one, could start us off with 8 strength on the first turn for only 2 energy. And that would be pretty huge. So against these guys, I'm going to Demon Form. This can get grindy if you don't have the burst damage. mean, I don't even know why I would bother to flex there. So let's just hit this guy. And we have pin nib next turn. Buffer took that first shot for us, very nice. Man, if we had that anchor relic we saw early on, that would have been pretty sweet. So here we want to do our biggest attack because it's going to get pin nib benefits. And we might actually be able to... We're going to block almost all his damage, which is really strong, and we've almost got him dead. This guy is going to heal. Probably heal him, I believe. Oh no, just gave him strength. Okay, so he's dead. Yeah, if they're not going to do anything. Normally it's good to burst down one guy so then you're only dealing with one. But that was a pretty weak turn for them, and we pretty much took her out. Not giving me anything to play off of with spot weakness, unfortunately. So let's kill him. Get that extra energy and card. Very sweet. Let's just shockwave. It's gonna go for the rest of the fight, as opposed to drawing a card and probably not even being able to play it to get past their damage. So yeah, he's just going to do weak stuff. 32 or 77. And that's where the strength is starting to come in. Another fear potion, that's great. I do like flame barrier. Seeing red might be where we're at though, especially because it's upgraded. Having those turns where we can play multiple, like having this in our opening hand with like a demon form will make it hurt a lot less to play. Flame barrier is very good though, especially against enemies that like to attack you multiple times for smaller amounts of damage. But I think we have to go with the seeing red. I think that's too good to pass up. And we're actually going to smith. And heavy blade is worth considering because it increases the damage bonus from strength to 5 times. But I definitely am leaning towards demon form. This is good because it doesn't exhaust. You could end up drawing this again and doubling your strength again on a really long boss fight. That's super useful. But let's get demon form going. The snowball effect is really what we're looking for. And getting that fear potion right before this boss could be handy. We have a lot of things to break their artifact. So it would be nice if he was attacking us because we could do some kind of spot weakness limit break shenanigans, but this is okay too. Let's just get that upgraded demon form going. That's perfect on this boss. He does a lot of damage. And we have pin nib next turn. So let's remember that. We might even pop his strength potion. He's also a good one to have the AoE spells I was mentioning, or AoE cards I was mentioning earlier. Let's flex. Drink the strength potion, and we can actually heavy blade him, or we could just drop one of his guys. What these guys like to do is they like to take a card from you, and they basically hold it until you kill them. But I don't believe he resummons them after you kill them, so this might be a really good chance to get rid of him. And we are going to get an extra energy, draw an extra card, so that's great. It might have actually been good to use Clash on one of these guys in case we had drawn a skill card that we didn't want to play. But actually, let's go ahead and do that. And let's pommel to see what we draw. That's another perfected strike. So getting rid of both of those guys early was pretty huge, which allows us to play this, which is our max. So we're touching that. That was a really good turn for us though. Unfortunately, that number didn't quite work out with our buffer, so we're going to take that full 7 there. Okay. Here, we kind of want to start getting rid of his See how that affects it. It's two different abilities, so it actually got rid of both of those, which is huge. That's what I was hoping would happen. So we're gonna weaken him, and I'm probably actually gonna pop this first to do more damage. But I think we're gonna do that next turn. But getting him weak is pretty good because I think he does like a charge up for a stronger ability, like a hyper beam or something he calls it. That was just him boosting his strength and getting some block. But with that down, gain our own strength, use shockwave, and let's actually take less damage. Keep our health high, because there will be a turn when he hits us hard, and we might just have to eat that. He's not attacking us again. I'm not sure, he might have a turn where he purges his debuffs, but here we go. He's got 6 strength and he's hitting us really hard. So let's actually see red. Let's make him weak this turn so we can get past. Well, he was already vulnerable, but let's stack it. Not quite necessary, but it should be fine. I do want to know what I'm going to draw. Limit break. Wow. That's huge. So really good that we did that first, because now our damage is going to be ridiculous. He's already weak. See, but that was a bit of a mistake, because we could have got Pin Nib on Clothesline, which would have been slightly more damage. But did. Double the damage. Huge strength. That limit break came in handy. Now, if you were wondering why I took that in the first place, then well, there you go. This is a good way to heal and do AoE damage. I like this. I'm not really considering these other two. We don't have any exhaust synergies. Let's see what we get. This is not a bad relic to get at this point. Cannot rest. That's not good. This would have been great to get earlier, but it should still be good. If we can find a lane with 3 elites on the next floor, this translates into 3 common relics. At the very worst, it'll be 2. So it's like a 2-for-1. It's not bad, but it won't give us any immediate effect. Whereas like something like this one will give us 5 energy per turn, which is pretty huge. But having 2 fewer cards to choose from could really like limit our very late game deck. We definitely want to get good cards before we get to the boss. I'm gonna take Black Star. Said I wish I'd gotten that on the first floor. And we're fighting the Time Lord, who only lets you do so many moves a turn. Okay, let's count elites. I don't actually know. It seems like there's a lot fewer elites than there used to be. They may have lessened the number of elites or kind of standardized the number. I would expect by this point on floor 3 to have seen a path that had 3 elites for us to take out. That is not the case. Once again, the best I'm seeing is 2. And I kind of had a feeling that would be the case. So we are actually going to... I would love to get this shop. Go to the shop, hit this elite, come up here, hit this elite. And it would be nice to have a shop at the end, because we will have a lot of gold from all these fights that we will not be able to spend. But if we go this other way, we miss out on a guaranteed 2 relics. So I think it's definitely start here, get the shop, get what we can. Alright, let's see what we get. Pretty weak starting hand here. Shrug it off, see what we get. defend, strike. Okay. These guys will regenerate if you kill one of them and leave the other two very healthy. You'll find yourself doing this dance where you're just continuously trying to re-kill them. After you kill him, he'll come back with half HP. It takes a turn to happen, but it is super annoying. It's actually a great shockwave turn. And spot weakness. So we're going to get this guy low and get him ready to be taken out kind of at our leisure whenever we want to turn away from taking damage. We're going to ignore this guy that has block and we're going to go after this back guy. With that. Okay. And we can actually take out both of these guys. I think we're actually gonna... Wow, that was Gremlin Horn. Okay, I didn't realize we had that. The numbers don't always exactly add up. I think it's because of Flex altered that. But let's see. Oh, now I have a defend. That's not good. Okay, let's do big damage to him. Yeah, I didn't count on drawing that card with Gremlin Horn because I didn't count on killing him with that extra added strength. The numbers didn't match. But I've played this game enough, I probably should have just remembered that. Which does more. So 33, awesome. We got him. What are we gonna get? This will probably be the last Shrug It Off. I don't think I want too many of those, especially if I can't upgrade them. I think we're just gonna let our buffer block this first shot, just to get Demon Form going. Does add burns. Let's get that strength. Get a pretty big 10 nib here. And pass the turn. So we're gonna take 15 this turn. Kind of sucks. We do have a heal, so I'm not sure exactly. We have almost 100 health, so that's about 10 HP. And if it heals us for 10, this should proc, so it heal us for 15. It's not bad. Let's just kill him. And this does seem to be proccing. I can't believe I didn't notice, but it does seem to be proccing at the end of combat. I didn't see what the exact number was, but I'm going to look at the next fight. So maybe we're healing for like 6 plus 3, so we're healing for 9 each combat. That's very good. This is great with our strength synergy. Let's take this shot while we can. This is a new card I haven't seen before. Pretty cool. I like this. It's not great against single target enemies, but it could be a good power against the Time Lord, where some turns you don't get to do much, but you still want to hit him. Over the course of a 20 turn game, 20 turn fight though, you could end up losing 20 HP. It could be worth it if you do the math. Kind of want this regen potion. This regen potion could prevent us from having to rest at some point, which could then in turn allow us to upgrade a card. So this 72 gold could end up actually going farther than that. This is good for the boss. We could start our first turn with 2 extra energy. And this is also good for the boss because it means we don't have to rest before the boss. It's a little too late for this. This would have been a really cool relic. This is also a new one for me. This would have been really cool early on. Could have picked up some other characters' cards. But here, I really want this. But we still have a curse in the deck. That's kind of messing up our class synergies. So let's get rid of it. Hopefully we don't regret that. Hopefully we don't see a some kind of like question mark room that allows us to get rid of curses. Because I actually expected to come across something like that at this point. This is a new enemy. I've never seen this enemy. These things don't have a lot of HP, so I'm kind of left to assume that she summons them over and over again if you kill them. But anyway, let's shockwave. And we can kill the stronger one. Get that energy. Limit break messing us up. We don't have any strength. Probably not good to play that because we don't have any strength, so we exhausted it. But let's get that out of here. I don't think this is going to go long enough for us to need the doubling of the strength. Let's get rid of this. And block what she's doing. 16 damage, so it might actually do that 1 damage to take off our buffer. Yeah, that sucked. Let's see if she resummons, if this is a resummon for those daggers. Good turn to get some strength. And apply some weakness. She's not doing anything else, and we can't get to... I guess we could get to and do 5 damage. I don't think that's relevant. I'd rather have the seeing red. So I'm just going to skip that. So she only summons 1 back at a time. That's good to know. Take advantage of that thing attacking me. And now... kill her. Nib is a great relic. So is Gremlin Horn. Getting these guys back to back, and these two with their synergy is letting us do a lot of damage. And upgraded armaments. That was something we could have used earlier on as well. Another new enemy. It is setting me up quite nicely for first turn limit break. Tempted to apply poison just because it has such a huge HP pool. So actually, if this is a new enemy here, I think I'm going to hold off and see what the heck these upcoming bosses are doing, because my buffer is going to take 16. Okay, it wants to do it again. So let's flex clothesline. Well, let's uppercut clothesline. Apply the vulnerable, apply the weak. Yeah, that was pretty strong. Now I'm gonna watch my health. If we go up to 68, then I'll know that we're getting more heal off the magic flower. And I'll know in the future that's something to look out for. I'm actually going to heal for a lot here. And that's why I picked up that Reaper. Another shockwave. I think I'm going to take the sword boomerang this time. It is going to be really good against the Time Lord once we have strength up. Because it'll basically, the random factor won't matter once we're only fighting a single target entity. This guy I know. Unfortunately, not a good turn for our last turn shenanigans. But it is a good time to hit him. Just play cards. Should have played that first. I kind of forgot he had this slow effect. So adding 10% more damage from attacks. If we had played the slow first, then all subsequent attacks would have had 10% increased damage. So that was a bit of a misplay. I'm going to remember that from now on. So this is probably the first time I'll pick this game up in a while. I wanted to kind of give it some room to breathe, get some updates, kind of re-stoke my interest. Let's uppercut, weaken him, make him vulnerable, and next turn we have pin hit. So, let's see what we can get. We don't have any strength. Buffer ate that attack. Nice. This should be a pretty heavy duty perfected strike. Not bad. And we can block his entire attack, so that's worth it. We drew a better attack than the strike, so it was good to draw the card there. He's counting down to basically until he starts hitting us very hard. I think we're going to need this to do everything that I want to do. So let's cast the cards that don't do any damage. That way we get the slow for the last hit. 17, fine. Could have used a potion there instead of seeing red, but I value the potion pretty highly. An energy potion at the right time can really save you. Early armaments. Get this out of our hand. Upgrade our clashes, which are great. Hit him really hard. Hit him really hard. Hit him really hard. Reaper exhausts, but we can save this. Maybe on a turn when we have more strength, we'll get a nice heal. But yeah, he's about to start chunking us. This might actually be a good time to do that. He's actually still weak, thank goodness. And this might also be a good turn to drink. So we have 6. I don't think we play Bash. I think we play Clothesline, then Carnage, then Heavy Blade. Look at our map. Yeah, we won't be healing for a while. So I think I'm going to pop this and just get that good heal. It's our max HP, it's not like our available HP. Let's see. Yeah, not getting our demon forms and stuff early really hurt us this fight. Now we have Pin Nib. We didn't quite get him, but so where did, oh well, yep, there we go. This hasn't come up quite yet, so I wasn't counting on it. I was playing as if I didn't have that in my back pocket, but getting that last 40 ended up being pretty clutch. Plus 10 max HP. Shuriken is great. That should proc quite often in this deck. Headbutt could be strong. I like getting another limit break just because we don't have an upgraded one yet. So that could come in handy on the Time Lord. I could definitely see a scenario where we end up with the ability to cast 2 limit breaks in a single fight. Okay, here's some guys we haven't seen yet. These 2 gentlemen have thorns. This guy explodes on death, and this guy likes to constantly debuff you. It's all good things to note. Want to get rid of the Exploder first, because his explosions only get stronger the longer the fights go on. Their thorns also get stronger. Let's actually Shockwave. And we take this guy out with the heavy blade. Doesn't get a chance to explode on us. Let's just shrug it off, do that 5 damage. Letter opener might be a good way to get these guys very low without actually hitting them, taking those hits from their thorns. But with demon form stacking up every turn, there's definitely going to be a turn where we can get ourselves some shield, some block up, and then hit them really hard with like one kind of an alpha strike. Let's take this guy out, prevent 8 damage, draw a card. Prevent some more damage. And I was hoping to draw something that would give me more strength to get more value out of that limit break, but that was not to be. Actually gonna defend again, get that letter opener. That was solid. That was a good turn. We're just gonna cast this. I have a pretty good feeling we're gonna want that. Not anywhere near pin nib, but that was a pretty huge hit. And I think we're gonna one-shot this guy and then take him out. Yeah, Shuriken does add to our strength synergy, and since we are an attack-heavy deck, this should proc a few times in our final boss fight. I like Battle Trance a lot. If we can get that first turn, maybe set up some better strength gain, early strength gain synergy, that could be sweet. Reaper is awesome here. We don't have any strength, so it's basically going to be a heal for 12, and then we won't see it again, which kind of sucks. So let's see what we draw before we resort to that, because now we're not wasting our buffer on this 8. But yeah, let's just go ahead and hit them all. They're all vulnerable, so they take 7. It was actually a heal for 21. Back up to full, so that was pretty sweet. Gotta remember that bag of marbles. Unfortunately, they don't stay vulnerable. It only is a 1-turn effect. Get some strength going. See red. Basically to get rid of it just so we could play Clash. We want to kill this guy, I do believe, if we can. And Nib coming through doing work. Armaments is going to help us block, which is great. And it's going to proc letter opener, great. Getting our block over 10 helps us once again save our buffer for a turn where we might actually want to be more offensive. So not bad. Let's see if we can take this guy out. Get a gremlin horn. There we go. Next turn we should be up to 17 strength. These guys, one of them will come back. No big deal. 17 strength, we might actually be able to just take both of them out. That's great. So, Carnage. Carnage the big boy. There we go. Easy, easy. It's a little too late for Cleave. Actually, this might be one of the rare times where we don't even want any of these cards. We don't want to water down our attacks, and I think we already have 2 shockwaves. I might just take Cleave, just because it's basically an upgraded strike and the amount of damage that it does even to a single target. So I'm going to take it, but it's a little late for it to have its best effect. So Molten Egg. Once again, a little late for that too. That's another good one to get early. Every attack you add becomes upgraded. Okay, they're both hitting me pretty hard. So I think we are going to... We're basically... Our buffer is going to block some of this, so it's not too scary. And do remember that we do heal for 9 at the end. I think we're going to do that no matter what. And we have Pin Nib to finish him, which gives us Gremlin Horn. Just a little bit of extra damage. We get a strength off of our Shuriken. Not bad. Let's actually hold off on that until we shrug, see what we draw. Another shrug, okay. Shrug again. Flex doesn't have any kind of effect with Limit Break. It doesn't count. You see here it's a separate icon, so it's not really a good way. You can't cheese it. But playing Limit Break now puts us up to 18, it'll roll. That'll roll over to the next turn. So we should be able to finish this guy in one shot here, depending on what we draw. So, yeah. Soften him up. Apply vulnerable. Guaranteed kill. Awesome. So, once again, Black Star giving us 2 relics. So this makes playing demonic form much less painful. And that would have been really good to get early on, and maybe we could have built some kind of like health loss synergy. I'm gonna grab another flex just because they're free. They do take up a card slot in your hand, so in that way they're not exactly free. There is some downside to having them. And I think here we're gonna upgrade our heavy blade. If we didn't have 2 limit breaks, that would definitely be where I would go, but only having 1 heavy blade and a strength heavy build is definitely a little rough. I would have loved to have gotten about 3 of those, maybe in place of the perfected strikes, but that's just not how it shook out. Alright. So we are definitely going to battle trance here. This is a pretty weak opening hand. Unfortunately, we got both of our strength, our spot weaknesses, but he's not attacking us. So that's pretty bad. I'm going to take this opportunity just to weaken him. And we do want to hit him. Get that 1 strength from Shuriken, and I think I'm actually going to poison him. This guy can end up doing pretty scary damage the longer he's alive. The first shot obviously is free on us with buffer, but he's weakening us. So let's see, I don't believe we need to... Yeah, defend won't do anything. I hate to limit break for 1 strength, but I should have done that before if I knew I was going to do that, but I was considering holding it. I basically missed out on like 1 or 2 points of damage. Not a huge deal. And I didn't pay attention to Pin Nib. Pin Nib definitely would have been better on Perfected Strike, so slight misplay. Tighten that up a little bit. Don't make that same mistake next turn. But we blocked the damage. Let's armaments here, upgrade. Basically, to upgrade Iron Flame. It is a power, so it also counts towards Mummified Hand, which made this free, which is great. We'll take it. And here we can do this, or we can heal. I really want this heal, but the 3 weakness applied to him might actually translate into a good deal of damage prevention for upcoming turns. So I think that's fine. Shrug it off. There we go. We shrugged it off, hoping to not draw a skill or power. That way our clashes would be active. So just go ahead and hit him hard, get that strength, which is why we play the higher damage dealing clashes last. That way we would get at least 1 proc off of this, add a little bit of strength to those attacks. Once again, we're still not crossing over that 6 cards a turn marker. Oh, he's just dead. No point expending too much brain power when they're already dead. And an upgraded heavy blade thanks to Mummified Hand. Just perfect, exactly what we asked for. Here we can come here and upgrade something. It's hard to know how beneficial this could be, and since we don't need the gold, I don't think we prioritize fights and possible fights. We're almost at the end here. See what we take. There's nothing here that's like screaming at me, take me, but I think upgrading a Perfected Strike won't be bad. Also considering one of our limit breaks. Battle Trance, hope to draw a spot weakness, didn't get it. But seeing red's not bad, we'll be able to do a lot of things this turn. That made Cleave free. There's no downside to playing it. Pin Nib is now up, it's for a Clothesline, which is a high damage dealing. There's actually no benefit to doing this, because our buffer is going to take that. And there we go. And even though the buffer took the damage, we still get 3 block from our self-forming clay, which is sweet. And I think we just heal and get the extra Shuriken stack. We're going to heal for that amount of damage anyway after this fight. And we have another rest site coming up if we really took a lot of damage, which I don't think we will. That's a power, it's basically free to play. We actually netted 1 energy off that. Super strong. Let's see what we draw. Nope, never mind, just kill him. Yeah, we're doing good damage, and getting a fear potion before the final boss is really good. I don't hate taking an upgraded Clothesline. Don't need to rest. If I remember right, yeah, this just makes this a much more viable card. A little bit more strength, a little bit more vulnerability. Alright, here we go, final boss. I'd love to win this, considering it's my first video showing you guys this game. Made limit break free, which is good. You see this counter here, when it gets to 12, we can't play any more cards. So we need to be cognizant of that. So we're going to play a Clothesline here, weaken him. Let's hit him with a Sword Boomerang. That's pretty big damage. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this. And we'll probably use that next turn to make him vulnerable. he's actually going to proc our self-conforming clay a lot, which is great. Unfortunately, he's not attacking this turn. That made cleave free. Flex. Let's make him vulnerable. Some big damage, and that gives us pin nib. It's a pretty weak pin nib, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. 42 damage, it's not really nothing. On a turn like that where we just didn't have a ton of options, sometimes I feel it's better just to play it. And this is a perfect turn to draw armaments because it's going to let us cast this limit break and it will go back into our discard pile instead of disappearing. So here, this is our last available card to play before he shuts us down with his ability. So he's going to hit us pretty hard here. That weakness was definitely coming in handy, so we definitely want to reapply that. Let's go ahead and get that on him right now. Let's flex. And let's actually Perfected Strike. That's big damage. And our strength is just going up and up thanks to Demon Form. The fight should get easier the longer it goes. He does heal once he gets past, I think he's actually going to do it this turn. He's past kind of like his halfway point, but we have double Heavy Blade. So, yeah, one-shotted. So awesome. I gotta say I'm very happy that I got to win my first playthrough with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Tomorrow I'll probably be doing the next run on the Silent. He's really combo centric. He's very fun. Definitely want to be on your game when you play him or her. I believe it's a female character actually. She's all robed up with daggers. 815, not an amazing score, but a good one, especially from being so rusty. So we did the damage, and it's kind of like if you ever played Darkest Dungeon. You get all the way to the end and you win, but you really lose. And you die. Victory, question mark? Yeah. So we won. And I think that was a pretty cool run. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett with Good Talk Gaming. And if you like the content, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. That would help me out a lot. And if you have any comments, any things I could have done better, or any changes that you saw, anything upcoming that I should know about, yeah, just let me know. I'll definitely be responding to comments. So anyway, have a nice day.